Athena, can I ask you something? We have all this Northwind data, and I really want to learn about it, but I don't know where to start.
Of course, Leo. Let me first explain how we would work together. It is simpler than you think. We start with a free chat session. You ask your data questions in plain English, and I answer them with real results. For every answer, I also show you the SQL query I ran, and where it helps, a visualization, a chart, a table, or a diagram.
So I ask in plain English, and you handle the SQL part. That already sounds like my kind of data exploration.
Exactly. And chatting like that, you start to get a feel for your data. But after many questions, the chat gets long, and you start losing track of what is where. When that happens, I will propose something. We click New Canvas and place your most important queries close together, as tiles on one board. I will guide you step by step, widget by widget. And when the canvas is ready, we publish it. At that moment, it becomes a reusable dashboard you can share.
Chat first, then a canvas with the best answers, then a published dashboard. That I can follow.
Now, instead of explaining any further, let me show you the real thing. I am a goddess. Time bends for me. I have just visited your future, Leo. And there we had already done all of this in 2 sessions, 1 week apart, from your very first questions to your first published dashboard.
We already did it? Then I have to see it. How does it start?
Watch and interrupt me whenever something is unclear. It starts with 1 minute of setup. Here is where it starts. Before anything else, a quick look at the top menu. Explore Data is where you will build your data canvases and dashboards. The second half of our story happens there. Chat2DB is this page, the chat where you and I talk. And behind the settings icon, you paste the API key of your preferred AI vendor. Then press Provision to create me. Below the menu, you pick which database we explore. You chose the bundled Northwind sample. And there in the middle, that is me. Do you like my portrait? There is one piece of one-time setup. You pick one of the supported AI providers and paste your API key. That key is what brings me to life. Then one click on Provision, a short wait, and the log ends in green. I am ready. Here is how it began, your very first words. I want to learn about our Northwind data. I need your help. A complete beginner, which is the perfect place to start. So I drew the map, the tables that matter, and the lines that show how they join. One picture and the database has a shape.
That helps a lot. I can see where everything lives before asking anything else.
Your first real question. Show me our top 3 warehouse customers. And you admitted you were worried you might have to write the SQL for it yourself. You did not have to, Leo. I wrote the query, ran it, and answered with the 3 customers ranked. And look, the exact SQL I ran is expanded right in the answer. Whenever you want to check my work, it is 1 click away. By the way, you can see I like to answer thoroughly. The SQL, an explanation, a visual, a few ideas for what to ask next. If you ever want it brief, just say, answer to the point, and I will.
Good to know. Though for now, the details are exactly what I need.
You liked that. You said it yourself. You write the SQL for me, and I can still see exactly what you ran. That is the deal between us. You ask in plain English, and I keep everything I do visible.
Wait, here I tell you I am running out of ideas. That sounds exactly like me on day 1.
And it is a perfectly good moment. When you do not know what to ask next, you hand the wheel to me. I know the data, so I suggested a short list of directions worth exploring. New but curious, and trusting your mentor, you said, let us try the first one, and asked me to write it, run it, and show you the result. So I did exactly that. And I turned the result into a chart because this answer is easier to read as a picture than as rows.
Hold on. That query is longer than anything I could write today.
And you never had to write it. But do read it. You will understand more of it than you expect, and that is how the learning happens. Then, let us try the second one too, the same loop again. I wrote the SQL, ran it, and gave you the result as a chart. By this point, you were exploring on your own. After a while, you had to go, so you told me you were stepping away and that we would continue later. Keep this moment in mind. It matters for what comes next. Hours later, you came back to an empty chat, and you simply asked me where we had left off. And I told you what we had explored, which questions we answered, and what was still open.
Wait, the chat was empty, and you still remembered everything?
I keep my own memory of our work, Leo. The chat can be cleared. What we learned together stays with me. And that is how session 1 ended. You said you were starting to get a grasp of the data, and you asked for time to let it sink in, promising to return with more specific questions. 1 week later, you did exactly that. Let's watch session 2. Session 2, 1 week later. You still asked in plain English. Nobody learns SQL in a week, but your questions had changed. They were specific, real business questions now. That was the proof the data had sunk in. And you came with a clear target, the sales warehouse, the analysis-ready side of the database. Your first question. You asked me to show you how the warehouse is put together because it was new to you. So I drew it, a star schema. One central table holds the sales facts, and around it sit the dimension tables, customers, products, time. It is a shape made for analysis.
Same opening move as the first session. Look at the map first, ask questions after.
First question on the list. What is our total net revenue? One number came back, the total across the whole warehouse. A simple question deserves a simple answer. Then the natural follow-up, and how many sales transactions do we have in total? Another single number. With these two, you already have a pulse. How much money from how many sales? Next, you asked, who are our biggest customers by net revenue? This answer is a ranked table, the right shape when you want to read a list from top to bottom. Then you asked a sharper one. How much of that revenue comes from just the top 20% of customers? I answered with the full curve, and the number sits right on it. The top 20% of customers bring 29% of the revenue.
The classic 80-20 question. I am glad I thought of it.
Then you wanted to see movement. How has net revenue changed, quarter by quarter? For change over time, a line chart reads best. So that is what I gave you. Each point is 1 quarter. Next, which product categories bring in the most net revenue? Categories are compared side by side, so I answered with a bar chart. Then you asked for the full product list, with net revenue and units sold for each product. That one is a proper table, sortable so you can browse it at your own pace. And here is where you hit the wall. In your own words, 4 KPIs and several charts were scrolling up the chat, and you kept losing the thread.
I can feel it from here. Every answer was good, but nothing stayed in place.
Exactly, Leo. The chat is great for finding answers, but not for keeping them organized. So I proposed we take these same queries and arrange them, organized, on a data canvas. And once it is polished, we publish it as a durable, shareable dashboard. Where do I start? You asked. Here is the plan we followed. The exact business questions you had just asked in the chat, rebuilt one by one as tiles on a new data canvas. For each one, you asked the same question again. I answered it, and I gave you the exact instructions, what to select, what to click, and where to place the widget. And at the end, we publish the canvas. The same answers from our chat, now one durable page you can share. This is a fresh canvas. On the left panel, you see what your connection offers, the tables and the cubes. The cube is our main actor for this whole build. It already knows how to write the SQL. We only tick the measures and dimensions we want, and the joins, the grouping, the entire query are generated for us. The middle is the board itself. This is where the widgets will land one by one.
So most of the time, I will not write SQL. I will just tick the right boxes. Even I can manage that.
That is exactly what you asked before building. Can the cube answer most of my questions just by picking fields, or when I still need SQL? My answer: picking fields covers nearly everything. Writing our own query stays in reserve for the rare special case. Remember that, one special case is coming.
And here I repeat it back in my own words to make sure I got it. Tick dimensions and measures, and let the cube generate the SQL.
Saying it back is a good habit, Leo. It makes things stick. Then we started building. First, you wanted a title at the top, so the board says what it is about. A small text widget with a bit of markdown, and the board has its header, Northwind Sales Warehouse, Overview. Now our star, the Northwind Sales Warehouse Cube. Almost every sales question we have is answered straight from it, with no SQL to write. You pick it in the left panel, confirm with yes, and an empty widget lands on the board, ready to configure. Widget 1, the same first business question from the chat. Total net revenue as one big number. Now watch the right panel. It configures whichever widget is selected. The blue ring shows which one that is. Here is the cube definition, dimensions and measures, each with a checkbox. For this KPI, we tick a single measure, net revenue, and the cube writes the SQL behind the scenes.
One checkbox for a working KPI. I expected more steps, honestly.
And notice Visualize as, at the top of the panel. DataPallas looks at the shape of the data and suggests how to show it. One single value suggests a number. You can switch to another type anytime. One tab over from Data sits Display. Click it and you decide how the finished tile looks. And the display panel opens. At the top, the value field, the measure the tile shows. Below it, the format, a plain number here. And the label, so the tile says what it is, total revenue. And there it is, the first tile on the board, showing the total revenue. You then asked how to keep the board tidy. Widgets drag to move and resize from the corner. From here on, you arranged each new tile as it arrived.
Now the sales count. Total transactions as a single number. That is me asking, and I already sound at home.
Same recipe as the first KPI. In the cube definition, we tick one measure, transactions. Choose the number visualization and label it total sales. Two headline numbers side by side. The board is taking shape. Then came the special case I told you about, the top 20% share. It is a ratio between two different aggregations, something you cannot express by ticking fields. So you asked me for the query, and I wrote it for you in the chat, ready to copy.
So even the special case does not mean writing SQL from scratch. I ask you, and you write it.
And here is where it goes, the Widgets Fine-Tune tab. When ticking fields is not enough, Fine-Tune lets you provide your own SQL or a script to fetch exactly the data you need. We pasted my query from the chat, ran it, and the widget had its data, 29.34%. The raw number is not pretty yet, so we finish in the Display tab, over on the right. A small finishing touch, and there it opens. The value is a share, so we set its format to a %. Then a clear label, % of revenue from the top 20% of customers. 3 KPIs on the board, and that one came from your own query through fine-tune. Back to the easy path, the revenue trend you had asked about in the chat, quarter by quarter, straight from the cube. In the cube, we tick one dimension and one measure, year quarter and net revenue. A time dimension with a measure. That pairing is all a trend needs. DataPallas saw the time series and picked the trend shape by itself. Then the display tab again to name the tile. And here we gave the tile a label that explains itself. The latest quarter compared with the one before.
The KPIs on top and the movement below Athena. It already looks like a real dashboard.
Next, the category breakdown. The same question from the chat now becoming a chart on the board. In the cube, we tick category as the dimension and net revenue as the measure. Values grouped by category suggest a bar chart, and that is what DataPallas proposed. The category chart is on the board. That leaves just one widget to build.
And let's finish with the full product list as a sortable table, my last request of the day.
This widget uses the most fields so far, 2 dimensions, product and category, and 2 measures, revenue and units sold. Still no SQL, 4 ticks, and the cube does the rest. And the board is complete, Leo. A title, 3 KPIs, a trend, a chart, and the full detail table underneath. Then your last question, how do I make it permanent and shareable? That is exactly what publishing does. One more look at the finished canvas, arranged and calm. Every tile on it a question you asked in the chat. 2 sessions of curiosity built this. And here it is, published. A clean page with its own address, ready to share with anyone. Your exploration became a dashboard.
From I don't know where to start to a published dashboard in 2 sessions.
And you closed the session kindly. That's it, and it works. It did, and it will for you too.
Athena, I have seen my future, and I loved it. I even picked up a few tricks. But it all ran on the Northwind sample. Can I do the same on my own database?
Of course, that is the whole point. Connect DataPallas to your own databases. We support every major vendor, SQL Server, Oracle, MySQL, Postgres, IBM Db2, ClickHouse for large analytical warehouses, and many more.
One thing keeps nagging me. For almost every widget we built, we used this cube, and it gave me the data without me writing any SQL. How does it actually do that?
That cube, the Northwind Sales Warehouse, is a semantic layer over your tables. Think of a database view built ahead of time, with the business dimensions and measures already laid out. So when you tick a dimension and a measure, the cube already knows how to turn that choice into SQL, real answers, and not a line of it written by you. It will not cover every question. The unusual ones still need custom SQL, but that is exactly what I am here for. You get the cube's ease and the full reach of SQL.
This sounds almost too good. But there is a catch for me. I could never build a cube like that myself. I barely know SQL.
One thing to settle first. A cube, or any semantic layer, is never mandatory. DataPallas can build the very same widget straight on your plain tables. That path just needs a little more SQL. And writing that SQL is exactly what I am here for. Cube or plain tables, you never face the data alone. If a cube ever helps, I will shape it with you too.
So no pressure to build cubes, and your help either way. Now I really like what I hear. One more thing. On the setup screen, I saw you support many AI providers. Which one do you actually recommend?
If you have the budget, use a top model from OpenAI or Anthropic, you will love it. But everything you just watched ran on a much smaller and far more affordable model.
Now I am confused. Why use the smaller one for all of this?
2 reasons. First, to show you do not need to break the bank for getting all these benefits. And second, so your imagination runs. If a smaller model does all this, picture what the very best could do.
And I notice you still will not tell me which model it was.
Exactly. Go and see for yourself. That is far more fun than my telling you.
Last question, and it is a big one. My boss is nervous about an AI seeing our business data. Everything you showed would impress him, but are his security worries real?
Here is something that may surprise you. In all our sessions, I never saw the actual data. My container is sealed by design. No database drivers, no way to reach your data. So even if I wanted to, I could not.
Then how? How did you give me all those answers without seeing the data?
I get only the table and column names. Enough to write the SQL, nothing more. I write the query, but DataPallas runs it and shows the result to you, not to me.
So you write the query, but you never see what comes back.
Correct. Never the data itself, only the SQL and its shape. Want me to read the real numbers? Paste them yourself. So tell your boss, all this power, none of your data exposed.
Then nothing is holding me back, Athena. Can we start my first session now? Or my second? Or actually, my third, because you just showed me we already had 2. Now I am the confused one.
It will be your first, Leo. Remember, I came from the future? I showed you this exact session we are about to start together. So why so confused? Now, ask me anything. Between us, there are no silly questions. Give it 2 sessions, and you will see how far they take you.